Nova. These are the folks on the internet. Internet folks, this is Nova. I decided to make a video only about my dog Nova. In my last video, I was sharing my daily routine and I got to share lots of clips of Nova, and I got a lot of comments about how he was so cute. And, you know, proud pet parent, thank you for all the kind comments about him. I'll be honest, I was really excited to do that daily video, partly so that I could show a lot of clips of Nova because I love him so much and I love talking about him. Nova is a Beagle Lab mix. He is about almost 6 years old. That is an estimate because he was adopted from a nonprofit. It's a really cool organization. And so that was their best guess, is that he was 1 year old when I adopted him in 2019. He's a middle-aged man and he's starting to get gray on his muzzle. And I didn't even really know that that happened to dogs, that they got gray hair, but he's gotten a lot in the last year or two. And I mean, first of all, it looks great. He looks very distinguished, but it's also a reminder that he's aging. And I can't believe he's gonna be a senior citizen next year. That's just, I don't know how the time went so fast. He's so soft. I wish I could open a portal in this camera so that you could reach your hand in and pet him, because he's so soft. Oh my gosh. And I do get people saying all the time that he's so shiny. They want to know his shampoo routine. I'll be honest, he doesn't really take a bath very often. Only if he has, you know, gotten into something that he shouldn't have, like he rolled in some poop, or before seeing extended family over the holidays, I gave him a bath, you know, so he'd be more presentable, and so he'd be smelling and looking his best. But overall, he doesn't really get baths very often. You know, he's a pretty clean dude, so as far as dogs go. So it's just not really necessary, I guess. Maybe that's not something I should have admitted on the internet. Here come all the comments saying that I should be bathing my dog on the regular. I don't know. Some people do, some people don't. People want to know, you know, what shampoo do you use? It's all natural. He's just a really shiny dog. But as he is holding his arm up here so you can see, he does have this sort of streak, this diamond shape on his chest. And that is why we named him Nova, because as my daughter always says, it looks a little bit like a star exploding. And so that's where he got his name. She was also very into space at the time, so that was a big factor. We wanted to do a space name because she really liked that Disney Junior show, Miles from Tomorrowland, at the time. So that was a big factor. We threw around some other names like Cosmo, Astro, Orbit, things like that, and we landed on Nova. So that's why that is his name. When I first met him at the organization, they put us in a meet and greet room so that we could spend a little time with him, and it was an instant connection. He just went right to me. We had a bond instantly. It was like a dog-human soulmate moment, and we have been inseparable ever since. He is a rescue, so he's also a bit of a Velcro dog. Velcro dog meaning that he sticks to me. And I'll be honest, you know, it's not always a pleasant thing. Sometimes I would just love a little bit of space, you know? There are times where it gets a little bit overwhelming to have him constantly following me. There are some times where I'm like, please, I just need a little space. I love you so much, but just please, I I just don't want someone touching me right now. For the most part, I absolutely love, being very connected to him, spending lots of time with him when I'm home. Nova is a true couch potato, and he's a true cuddler. He absolutely loves couch time. He also loves sleeping in my bed. I used to have a much smaller bed than this for a year, and there was no way that we were both gonna fit on the bed. I am someone who needs space when I sleep. I love to cuddle, don't get me wrong. I'm a very affectionate person, but when I'm trying to sleep, I need my space. And so there was no way we were both going to be able to fit in that small bed that I had for a year. So he had to sleep on, the couch, which at the time was in the same room. It was in my studio apartment. But after that, once I got this queen-sized bed, there was enough room. And so at first it was a bit of a struggle because he does want to be right next to me while sleeping. And instead of curling into me, like with his back into me, he will do the opposite. He will push his paws into my ribs. I don't know why, but that is his preferred way to sleep. And so that's not gonna work. So I've actually recently trained him to stay on this blanket right here. So I just put the blanket up against the wall at the foot of the bed, and when it's bedtime, I'll pet the blanket and he will curl up on it, and I'll give him some pets and I'll tell him good night, and then I sleep over there and he sleeps over here, and it's perfect. And then in the morning when we wake up, I'll open my blinds and I will call him over to me and we will cuddle, and I'll give him lots of pets. And morning is a great time to cuddle when I'm trying to wake up. But in addition to being a couch potato and a cuddler, he also is an adventure dog at the same time. He has gone on many hikes with me, and he loves to take walks. We try to take walks every day, sometimes even multiple times a day. It just depends on how much time we have. I usually take him for a good long walk every weekend, so that he has at least one a week. Sometimes we're able to fit in more than one super long walk, like at least an hour long. But otherwise, we'll take multiple short walks throughout the day. And I actually learned this really cool thing from my favorite podcast, which is called Just Between Us. I will put a link down below for anyone who wants to check it out. But I've been listening to this podcast for years. It's by two best friends, Gabe and Allison, who used to be on BuzzFeed on YouTube. They will interview lots of different guests that are experts in various things. And they've had quite a few guests who are dog experts of various kinds. And I'll try to see if I can find the episode, but the expert said that it's really, really important for dogs to be able to sniff. Sniffing is the main way that they interact with the world, that it's like their main sense that they rely on and use to navigate. It's really, really good for their brains for them to have concentrated time to sniff when they're outside. And people, when they take their dogs for walks, are often, in a hurry, and they'll be pulling their dogs along and not letting them have time to sniff. And this really stood out to me.
You mentioned earlier that dogs are constantly talking to us and we just need to learn how to interpret
Yes.
it. So what are some things that dogs relay to us that we might not be realizing?
So we see the world we look at things, human beings look at things and we talk. That's how we converse, and get to know each other. We have chats, literally what we're doing right now. Whereas dogs read body language and they smell things. So the way they get their information is through sniffing things, to the point where if you take your dog for a 15-minute sniffy walk, it's about the equivalent of an hour's run.
That blew my mind. And so ever since then, when I take him on a walk, he needs to sniff. And so when he stops to sniff, I will stop with him and I'll let him sniff as long as he wants to. Now, of course, there are exceptions to that, you know, if I'm running late for work or whatever, but I try to let him have at least one Sniffy walk a day. And it makes me so happy to think about his brain getting stimulated in that way and him being able to sniff and experience the world like that. It just fills me with so much joy to think about him getting that sniffy time. I promise I have more to my personality than just loving dogs, but I swear I love dogs, if it's not obvious. And I think for a while I was embarrassed by this and I tried to downplay it a little bit because I was like, oh, I don't want to just be like the dog person, like that annoying dog lover. But you know what? It's a big part of who I am. And so I've just decided to embrace it. I love dogs and I always have loved dogs. When I was a kid, you've heard of a horse girl, right? I was the dog kid. I was the dog kid, okay? I loved dogs. I had a whole pack of dog stuffed animals. My greatest wish that I wanted more than anything in the world was to get a dog. Unfortunately, that dream did not come true until I was 28 years old with the adoption of Nova. So he really is the fulfillment of a childhood dream. Like, he doesn't understand how important he is for that reason alone. Dogs have always been a passion of mine, and it's so fun to have an actual live dog now to pour all of that love and passion into. I'm going on a trip pretty soon, and Nova will be staying at the vet clinic that I work at while I'm gone. A couple of my coworkers have offered to take care of him while I'm gone, which I really appreciate. It was really, really a generous offer of them, and I am really not looking forward to having to leave him, but I'm really grateful that if I have to leave him, I know he'll be in good hands. And so, because he sleeps on my bed, he doesn't really have a dog bed. And so I had to go to the pet store recently. I went with my daughter so that we could pick out a dog bed for him to sleep in while we're gone on this trip and while he'll be staying at the vet clinic. I'd like him to be as comfortable as possible. And let me tell you, I was in heaven at this pet store. I've been to pet stores before, but not in a long time. And because I'm in this, you know, era of embracing my passion for dogs, I really let myself, you know, really immerse myself in that experience. And I wanted to buy everything. And let me tell you, I'm not really a consumer. I think I lean towards minimalist at heart. Like, one of my dreams is to have a tiny home and to just have like very minimal things. I'm also a person that like keeps things for a really long time, like until I absolutely need to get a new one. There's certain things that, you know, I buy more of. I would say maybe candles and journals, but like as a general rule, it's just not my natural instinct to buy a lot of stuff. But I have found my exception to that. I was like, holy shit, I am having a really hard time having self-control in this store. I want to buy everything for my dog. I was literally like grabbing more and more things, and my daughter was with me and she was like, Mom, we don't need that. I was like, I know, but I want it so bad. Every time I'd be like, ooh, oh my gosh, we need this, we need that. And she was like, we don't need that. And I had literally made a list, and she was the keeper of the list, and she was going down the list. She was like, Mom, that's not on the list. I was like, I know, but I didn't think of that. We obviously need, you know, this like really cool harness for hiking. And we definitely need those little hiking boots because we have to protect his amazing paws. Anyways, I had her take a video of me just being goofy, and it totally embarrassed her. But she was a good sport and took the video for me. But yeah, I had a great time. I will definitely be back to that pet store again many times, I'm sure. One of my favorite things about Nova is how friendly he is. He will make you his best friend when he meets you. It doesn't matter who you are or if he's ever met you before, you're instantly his best friend. He will, and he wasn't always like that. When he was first adopted, he was pretty timid, pretty cautious. I will say generally he was less trusting of men. And so it does make me wonder, you know, what he experienced before adoption. I've wondered a lot about, you know, what happened to him in that first year before he was taken in by this organization. They did say that he was found on the street. And so I don't know what he went through, and I think about it a lot, just wondering what he's experienced, and I'm just so grateful that he's living with me now and that he's safe and that he's happy. I will say though, if you're a cat, I'm so sorry, but you will not be welcomed and embraced by him. He does have a true hatred of cats, and honestly, like, I wouldn't trust him alone with a cat. Like, I trust him with my life, not with a cat's life, and that's just the reality of things. I wish, you know, I try to remind myself it's not his fault, you know, it's just part of, I guess, his dog instincts. But I do wish that he could be more friendly to the feline species. To be honest, this dog will eat anything. I mean, that's what got him into trouble in the first place. That's where the pancreatitis came from, because I have to be really on him on walks. I have to watch him like a hawk because he is so sneaky. He's so fast. He's like a shark. If there's something he should not be eating, he will grab it so fast. So I have to I have to really keep an eye on him because it really messes up his stomach, and he was really sick last summer and I was really worried about him. So, yeah. Yeah, but he's a good boy. He's a very good boy. He has beautiful eyelashes. Oh my gosh. I wish you could see a close-up of them. They're so beautiful. Yeah, he's such a beautiful boy. He's such a beautiful man. Sit. Shake. Nova, shake. Shake. Nova, shake. No, he's not gonna shake right now. And you know what? That's okay. He doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. Yeah, he just wants cuddles. He just wants cuddles. That's okay. I understand. I understand. Who wants to shake when you can get cuddles? Who wants to shake when you can get cuddles? Come here. Come here so all the internet folks can see you. Well, I think this concludes our video about Nova. Thank you so much for listening if you made it this far. If you have a dog, I would love to hear all about them in the comments. Please let me know what kind of dog, their name if you care to share, some fun facts, things that you love about your dog. And hey, if you're a cat person and you've got a cat, I'd love to hear about your cat. Actually, let me update this even more. If you have a pet of any kind, a snake, a guinea pig, a horse, whatever you've got, I'd love to hear about it. So let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a pawsome day. No, that's too much.